Okay, welcome to our fourth video in this series where we go through how to make your own custom Discord bot. In this episode, I'll be showing you how to make an advanced command handler so you can run your commands in individual files. Now, if you run into any problems, feel free to join our Discord and we'll be happy to help you. Without further ado, let's jump into our code. Now, at the moment, we're in our index.js, but I actually want you to jump into our message.js. Now, in here, our current system is looking something like this. Now we want to simplify this a bit, so if we have more files, it's just gonna be less code. So just remove this, and you want to make an array that will loop through and require each file. So let's make an array, so events is equal to an array, and in here we want to put in a string with the commands or the name of the files. So if you have two files, let's say the other one is ping or test, you're gonna do it like this. But of course we don't have a file that's called test.js, so we just want to remove that. Now we want to go below this, also put a semicolon there. Now we want to loop through this, so events dot for each. This is basically gonna do this for each element in the events array. Now let's give the element a variable name, so event a arrow function, open that up with some curly braces. Now we want to require the file. So the way we do that is we do require. Then we want to put in some backticks, not a normal quotation mark. Now dot slash the message folder slash a $, curly braces, and then not commands but event. There we go. Now that's basically it. We also want to pass through the parameters. So prefix client message, and that's it. Put a semicolon there. And you see this isn't really simplifying the code we had before, but if we have more files, it's going to simplify. So let's say we have another file and another file. All we need to do is do that. We don't need to add any more lines of code. So that's pretty simple. Now let's actually start with the command handler. So head into index.js, and we're going to be requiring a npm library that's called fs. So the library is called fs, so just require it. So const fs is equal to require fs. Now it's already downloaded in your project, so it's no need to install it. Now let's actually make a variable name that we're going to pass through. So const commands files is equal to fs dot read the year sync, then dot slash commands slash. Then we want to filter out all the files, so dot filter, and we only want to look for the file that ends with .js, so file ends with .js. There we go. Now let's pass this through, so commands files, hop into the message, and now let's pass through the commands files, and then let's pass through the commands files. Now let's jump into our commands.js, and we actually can start with our command handler. So in here, we first want to get the commands files. Also, we want to require discord.js. So go up above here, and const discord is equal to require discord.js. Now we can actually start. So here we go, and now in here we want to make a system or a new collection actually. So client.commands is equal to a new discord.collection, a method, so do that. Now let's make a for loop, so for const file of commands files, open that up, const command is equal to require and the path is going to be dot dot slash dot dot slash, and we want to make a new folder that we call for commands, and that explains why we have commands here. So if you put anything else here, you want to rename the file to whatever you put here. Now in here we want to get the commands file or folder, then we want to do a slash again, and remember the quotation marks need to be backticks because that allows us to do the $sign curly braces, and we can put in file here. Now let's actually give it a preset or basically a way of running it. So client.commands.set command.name and then the actual command. Now let's actually run the files. So just let's take this, actually delete that and go over here, and let's put it down here for now. You can put it wherever you want. Now let's remove this too. Now let's make the same loop as we have in the message.js. So const commands is equal to a array, and then the command is ping, the only command we have for now. If you have more, just put it in like that. Now let's run the array. So commands.for each, so for each element in the array, give the element a name, so cmd arrow function, open up with some curly braces. Now if command is equal to cmd, we want to client.commands.get cmd.execute message, comma, or actually let's pass through the client too. So client, comma, message, comma, args. There we go. Now let's go into the commands folder and let's make a new file that we call for ping.js. Now in here we want to make a module.exports that runs the file. So first we want to just require Discord. So const Discord is equal to require Discord.js. Now let's make the module.exports. So module.exports is equal to a object, the name. So you remember in here we put command.name, so we need to pass through a name, and the name for this one is going to be ping. Now we can put in some parameters. So let's say you are typing out a method, for example client.user.username. You see, if I try to type it out now, of course it's gonna be a bit weird because I haven't put in the parameters yet, but as you see I don't get the client dot, and then I don't get any recommendations. What we're doing right now is going to give us those recommendations. So do like that, go one line down, and at param, some curly braces, discord.client, that's going to be client, and then the at param again, and then some curly braces, discord.message is going to be the message, and then the last one at param is going to be a string of a array, and that's going to be the args. Now let's actually run the command or the code. So async for asynchronous, execute some brackets, and we want to pass through our parameters. So client, comma, message, then comma args. Open that up, and now let's get the code. So get that, and then just let's delete that. Now paste it in there. Let's format, and I'll show you. So now if I type client .user, you see how I get that, and I can just type tab to type it out. But if I try to delete that and now try to type client dot, I don't get anything. So it's just a great little system to have to get the autocomplete. Now I believe that's it. Actually, there's nothing more we need to put in. Let's try to run the code. So open your terminal. Let me exit out of that and let's clear. Now node space dot. Our bot is online. Let me go into the server and let's ping. We get the pong. Great. So no errors. Our program works nice. And as you see, we have now split our code up into different files. Now a bit overkill for the ping command, but of course if you have a command with 300 lines of code, it's gonna be a bit dumb to have it in the commands file, as it's gonna be a big file after a while. So yeah, that's basically it for this video. Now if you have any questions, leave them down below. And if you run into any problems, feel free to join our Discord. And yeah, have a great day.